James Jeffley. The line. The line. James Jeffley.
Mr. Contest Chair, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. How many of you have ever had to choose between speaking your mind and biting your tongue? Or between living large or playing small? Or between being you or being liked? Those are difficult choices that many of us have to face every day. And they're choices that exist on either side of an invisible line. I want to share my story with you about how I discovered the line. I've been speaking in front of audiences since I was 5 years old. By the time I was 16, I'd already won a number of speech and debate contests in high school. I thought I was hot stuff. In my senior year, I decided to take a speech class. I thought it would be an easy A. I walked into that class full of accomplishments, pride, and arrogance. My teacher looked at me and she said, "Would you please give one of your award-winning speeches?" I said, "Certainly." At the end of the speech, she gave me her feedback. She looked at me and she said, "Mr. Jeffley, that was an outstanding speech, well written and presented." And then she said 4 words that would mark a turning point in my life. She said, "But it wasn't you." I did not see that coming. She continued. She said, "I don't know who was giving that speech, if it was a character or an impression, but it wasn't you." You see, Mr. Jeffley, there's a difference between saying something well and saying something real. I was speechless. I just stood there, my ego burst, pride and arrogance oozing out of me, and the only thing I could think of were the lyrics to a James Brown song. I was talking loud and saying nothing. And she saw right through me, and she called me out. But in hindsight, she called me forth. She challenged me to be real. And that was the first time I can remember seeing the line. You see, the line is this barrier between what is real and authentic and whatever I was doing in that speech. And she could see it, and she helped me see it. And I swore from that moment I was going to be real. Little did I know, I was setting myself up for the most difficult struggle of my life. Because I had no idea how hard it was to actually be real in this world. I grew up with 2 parents. My father, who was Native American, he recently passed, and my mother, who was African American. And so I was always stuck in this quandary between which one am I? Am I Indian? Am I black? What am I? Then I'd listen to family members, and I'd go to school, and there were teachers and media and magazines and newspapers and movies and music, all of them giving me messages, conflicting messages about who I was supposed to be in the world. Every now and then, I could hear that little voice inside of me that was calling me towards the line, calling me towards my own truth, only to get snatched back over here by the desire to fit in. And the more I listened to those different voices, the more they all started to sound the same. Unremarkable, undifferentiated, unreal. You see, life really is different on both sides of the line. Over on that side of the line, you would find the real, unvarnished, unpolished, unapologetic, accept me, warts and all as I am, me. Oh, but over here on this side, you find the polished, practiced me. The idea of me, the story of me, the me that you think I am. The me that has sacrificed authenticity at the altar of wanting to be liked. The me that has something real to say, but often lacks the courage to say it. Another one of my teachers, Osho, once said, "You can't tell the truth unless you're courageous. You can't be loving unless you're courageous. Hence, courage comes first, and everything else follows." You see, if I had the courage to live on that side of the line, I would say 4 words to every young man whose underwear I see. Pull up your pants. Stop trying to live out a fashion statement whose origins you know nothing about. If I had the courage to live on that side of the line, I would say 4 things to every corporation. Pay a living wage. Why? Because you can't live on a trickle. And if I had the courage to live on that side of the line, I would share a secret with you that I've been holding on to for over 4 years. A secret that until about 2 months ago, I had only told 4 other people. A secret that if I admitted it, would mean that my version of happily ever after was finally over. And some of you might look at me as a failure. But as one of those 4 friends often reminds me, he says, "James, you are as sick as the secrets you keep." Well, I'm tired of being sick, and I'm tired of keeping secrets. My marriage of almost 25 years is over. And I have the courage to admit that now, because it takes courage to be well, and I want to be well. So it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks or what anybody says, because I would rather live on that side of the line in truth than to merely exist on this side of the line in fear. What about you? On which side of the line are you living your life? And where do you want to be? Me? I'm choosing real. I'm choosing now. And I'm choosing to live on that side of the line. And if you want, you can too. Who's with me? Mr. Toastmaster.